Hello everyone, welcome you all to Sri Lanka Spotlight. This is the Technobiz program, and if you wanted to follow the Technobiz virtual events, you always go to our website virtualevents.technobiz.org. And just give you some idea before we get into the Sri Lanka Spotlight today. What is Technobiz? What kind of things we do? And Technobiz is a company based in Thailand, and it recognized as International Resource Center for Industries and Technologies. Established in 2005, we offer a wide range of educational and business services for all kinds of industries, mostly the polymer industry and also on the process technologies. You can find more information about Technobiz at technobiz.org. Let's talk about the Sri Lanka Spotlight. What is the objective? Why you are doing this one? The main objective of the Sri Lanka Spotlight is we wanted to promote and disseminate the Sri Lankan expertise and innovations research to the local as well as a global community. That's an objective of this Sri Lanka Spotlight. What kind of content do you expect from the Sri Lankan Spotlight? Do you have technical research presentations, business leadership conversations like today, innovations and patents, new products, good practices, success stories, startups, the journey of young entrepreneurs, and also panel discussions on the current issues. So this is overview about the Sri Lankan Spotlight. You may find different issues in different episodes. So I do encourage all of you to participate on this program to update yourself on what is going on in the Sri Lanka. Again, we do this event during the weekends. Please do register on a regular basis at our website virtualevents.technobiz.org. Suppose you miss during the live session, you're welcome to watch the record session on YouTube at Technobiz channel. You can always check out Technobiz 2005. That's where you can find all the previous episodes of the Sri Lanka Spotlight. I'm pleased to introduce to you all, Technobiz is going to host an event in Sri Lanka, Polymer Sri Lanka. It's basically an international congress on the polymer processing, scheduled to 20 and 21st February 2024 next year. So I welcome you all to make note of this schedule and encourage you to participate actively. This is going to be an academic and industry oriented conference and a workshop, so focusing on the rubber, plastics, and polyurethane and composites area. So that's why it's called Polymer Sri Lanka. This is an event name we are going to host next year in February. Please do make a note of this event. It's going to happen organized by Technobiz. If you have any questions or any issues, or you have suggestions, comments, I welcome you to share to me, and you can contact me. My name is Pera Prasad Rao. You can reach me by WhatsApp or email, and I welcome you to join the journey of the Technobiz. And we also have our colleague in Sri Lanka, Mrs. Yugandha Piyadasa. She's also taking our Sri Lankan office. So please feel free to reach out to her, whether email or WhatsApp, whichever is convenient to you. So let's get to today's session, a Sri Lanka Spotlight. We have well-respected, eminent rubber technologist, and we're going to have a conversation with him today. It is Dr. Susantha Siriwardena. He's a director of the Rubber Research Institute based in Sri Lanka. Before I invite him, let me quickly give you all a brief introduction about who is Dr. Susantha, if you're not familiar with him. As I mentioned, he's a director of the Rubber Research Institute. He started his career as a raw rubber process development at the chemical engineering department at the RRI. Let's call it the RRISL, and as a assistant rubber chemist in 1991. Now he's a director of the same institute. So he has an excellent journey at RRI, where he has contributed so many researchers. Okay, so he finished his PhD in 2003 from the University of Sains, Malaysia, in the field of polymer composites. And he holds, during his 30 plus years at the Rubber Research Institute, he holds various positions. And before he became the director, he was a deputy director of research technology as well. He has his research work basically on the processing of all types of raw rubber grades. And one of the highlights is the development and implementation of single-day drying system for drying of sheet rubber. This is a major breakthrough in the field of the rubber drying, and he got awarded for that innovation, the President's Award for the technology in 2008. And he was also able to introduce a simple, cost-effective, and efficient dry systems for the drying of skim and brown crepe rubber as well. He has been a committee member of the Plastics and Rubber Institute of Sri Lanka for the last 15 years, of which his period he served as the chairman of Education Committee for 10 years. So he actually involved with the industry as well. He has more than 40 plus publications and in international reviewed journals and conferences, and also local journals as well. He also serves as a reviewer for international and local publications, as well as thesis submitted for postgraduate degrees in the field of rubber technology. And he has been a project supervisor for many undergraduate and graduate level students from various local universities. He also serves as the visiting lecturer for the undergraduate and postgraduate level rubber technology courses conducted by the local universities. As you see, he is an innovator, educator, support industry to grow, and it's a pleasure to have Dr. Susantha Siriwardena to be part of today's Spotlight, Sri Lanka Spotlight. Please join me, sir, Dr. Susantha.
Good morning to everybody. Thank you very much for the Technobiz for giving this opportunity to Rubber Institute of Sri Lanka. Thank you very much.
A pleasure to have you, sir. And before we get into the discussion, I'm expecting a long conversation today to learn about what is going on in the Sri Lanka rubber industry, rubber research, innovations developed, and government policies. So a long list of issues to be discussed. So please do bear with me and to make this conversation as useful for the audience and also for the people to understand about the Sri Lanka rubber industry. Let me, before we started, I think it's better to show a short video on the Rubber Institute. Is it all right with you?
Okay, it's okay, yeah.
Let me show you the video.
You have to mention that is the first Rubber Institute of the world.
Okay, yes, okay. So this is the first Rubber Institute. So how old is it now?
Now more than 114 years.
114 years. Okay, so guys, it's a very old, the first and oldest, yeah. So yes. Probably we should put in the Guinness Book record. Okay, so yeah. Let's look at the video first.
The Rubber Research Institute of Sri Lanka is the oldest research institute on rubber in the world and holds the responsibility for research and development in all aspects of rubber cultivation and processing for the benefit of the rubber industry. In the recent past, they have been involved in conservation and evaluation of the Hevia germplasm collection. This is further strengthened through a multilateral clone exchange program among the major rubber growing countries. Scientists have introduced a number of alternatives and cost-effective sowing media for river sand for germination of rubber seeds. They have developed chemical priming methods for the germination improvement in rubber seeds and growth and stress alleviation in rubber plants under abiotic stress conditions. Biostimulants were identified for growth improvement in rubber under abiotic stress. They are in the process of developing new tapping methodologies, including early morning tapping and low-intensity harvesting systems to reduce the cost of production of rubber. Studying the biology of the pathogens which cause severe damages to the rubber plant is an important activity. Pathologists have developed effective techniques to combat major rubber diseases. They have developed clonal screening tools and advanced application technologies such as tree injection. Soil scientists have introduced a reusable porous fertilizer tube and fertilizer encapsulated coir bricks to improve the availability of plant nutrition as an economically and environmentally sustainable method. They have also introduced polythene and shade net as effective methods of weed management. Scientists of rubber research have introduced various rubber-based farming systems including fruit crops, cash crops and medicinal plants. Further, new statistical technologies have been introduced to measure the sustainability and impact of livelihood development of rubber-based farming systems. An effective extension arm is functioning at the Rubber Research Institute to deliver the recommendations through various ways and means. Through this, they transfer important recommendations. providing efficient advisory services to all stakeholders of the rubber industry. Furthermore, scientists have found that cultivation of rubber in the northern and eastern regions are successful and have impacted upon the livelihood development of farmers. They have dedicated many types of research to improve value addition and raw material, as well as chemical analysis for the rubber industry. A new process of water reuse and recycle protocol was recommended to reduce water consumption by 30% and saving water annually, addressing one of the major problems in the rubber industry. They have also been able to convert environmentally harmful waste into a form of rubber material, which provides a solution for slug disposal in the centrifugal latex industry. Recently, RRISL, under the guidance of the Ministry of Plantation Industries, established a finite element simulation and designing facility for the first time in the rubber research and development sector in Sri Lanka. This facilitates in the virtual designing and performance evaluation of rubber products, providing fast.
Okay, that's what we had at the video. Yeah. So very nice and good to see excellent facilities and research, particularly the plantation side. Yeah. How many scientists you guys have at the RRISL now?
At the moment, we have 25 scientists.
Okay, and they are specialized in the wide range of areas, right?
Of course, all the subjects from from the land selection up to harvesting, and then from harvesting to convert this latex to product manufacture, we have scientists and even young ones.
Very good, very good. And so how do you deal with the people some of them are retired, 113 years old rubber research institute, so there may be a lot of contribution in the past, right? So
yes,
there are retired people still somewhere connected to the institute.
Of course, yes. Even the past directors is still there advising us. They are coming to the various consultative committees and various ways they are helping us.
Yeah. So it's basically that their experience still you're utilizing it, for the growth of the rubber industry or rubber plantation sector in Sri Lanka. That's very, very important, right? Yeah.
Yes, of course we have to.
Yeah. Well, that's the huge experience, knowledge they do have. So you need to be collaborated together with them. Yeah. So now you're a director of. I do want to get into various topics. First thing I want to touch is that you are a director. And of course, you have seen many directors, and in the past, you've been there for 30 plus years. So what you're bringing to the RRI now? What is your vision for the growth of the rubber research, and as well as industry growth, in Sri Lanka?
Yes, actually, with my past experience with all the past directors, with respect to them, I would like to mention that how did the Rubber Research Institute started? That is started with by the group of planters. They want to study the chemistry of latex. That's the beginning of the world natural rubber research in Sri Lanka. And what I want to say is that is because Rubber Institute established by these private parties or stakeholders to solve their problems. That is the message I still want to give our scientists as well now. That is remain still there. We have to do research just to firstly to give solution to the burning existing problems, and then if you provide solution to them, and then they will be adaptable or commercialized easily. In that case, you can be a researcher as well as the entrepreneur. That's why my first vision is provide the facilities, encourage these scientists to be a researcher who select the priorities first in collaborating with the stakeholders, and then commercialize it and be an entrepreneur and earn some money also. That is my first vision. And secondly, if you look at the rubber industry, now there are many agencies like Rubber Institute, and then the Rubber Development Department, and the Tursavia under the purview of the Minister of Plant Industries. These agencies are there to help the industry in different ways.
Yeah.
That is you can understand, right? But still, we have one industry. Therefore, we have to work for one direction. That's why I always say that now we all these institutes we get together because we have a master plan there. It clearly shows the what is the direction. Therefore, we have many agencies, but we have to follow one direction to meet the one goal. That is the my second what I believe, right? That's why now in Sri Lanka we have a problem. We have a net import of rubber. Therefore, all the stakeholders, even when I become the director, many parties go challenge to me. How can you go to increase the production, rubber production? That's a big challenge to me. Therefore, actually, blessing of the chairman, present chairman, we have established a task force comprising members from all those agencies. And now we have identified the short-term, medium-term, long-term strategies that is common to the every agency. We all know that where we go together, and therefore I think that must be the way forward if you want to come to industry. And fourthly, collaboration is more important with the stakeholders. Now, when I became the director in last January, I was able to sign few MOUs or memorandum of understandings in different agencies who has different objectives. Now, for example, we have signed MOU with Lalan or industries to develop some products, and then we have signed another MOU with the CIC, which is a fertilizer providing company for contract research. Now, these are for the directive for the industry. And then also we have signed another MOU with the Plastic Rubber Institute in Sri Lanka, which is the main body serving for 70 years to, train the workforce of the polymer industry. Now we have signed MOUs with them that is for human resource development. And again, we have signed another MOU with the private university, University of Horizon, to support their education programs, provide their research and practical facilities to the students. That is the national education. And also we expect that if Technobits also can come forward and sign an MOU with us, maybe another aspect, maybe we can go internationally, and also we have advanced testing facilities, you can market them, whatever it is, because what are the resources funded by public or public by the government, we have to make their use, we want to open those all the equipments facility to the entire nation in Sri Lanka as well as possible for the global also, because then you can utilize these equipments much effectively, and also by negotiating but working together, and then our people will expose the industry people will get to know us. Ultimately, synergism will be the development of the our rubber industry. That is the my vision, if I answer to your question.
Yes, yes, it's very positive, looking forward for the benefit of the industry, and of course, Technob is definitely actually involved with you, the RRI, and so we're looking to explore joint collaborative activities. I think every country RRI rubber institute is there. Wherever rubber producing country, they have RRIs out there. Their role is very, very important, in terms of the country, plantation, whole overall economy. It's a place significant. Can we talk more onto the plantation side? How the farmers, see, important of the plantation is the income generation for them, right? And so how much plantation there in Sri Lanka now, and what is the opinion or experience with the farmers in terms of generating a sufficient income for them?
Yeah, actually Sri Lanka, we have 1,038,000 hectares of rubber lands. Out of that, 68% of the production come from the smallholder sector, and then the others are from the large plantation sector. That's how it divides. And the rubber prices is always a problem for all the rubber producing countries.
Sure.
Nobody never become happy, But in terms of Sri Lanka, Now I have different opinion, because we are always talking about the price of a 1 kilogram of rubber. But you have a piece of land. What we need to see is how much income you can generate from that particular piece of land, right? It is again now depend on the yield per hectare.
Yeah.
Other one is the what is the income that you have. Therefore, in Sri Lanka, actually at present, if I have to tell the real situation, we are not happy with our productivity. But I must tell that our scientists, especially plant breeding department, headed by Dr. Samantha Vitanage, who is also she's the liaison officer for the plant pathology in plant breeding at IRDB as well. And all to due respect to all the past breeders, we have developed clones, more than 40 clones with high yielding. And there are, there are some plantations or divisions where still you can see that we can get more than 1,500 yield, provided that shows that if you are doing all the recommendations, you can easily achieve that. That we guarantee, right? Anybody can come and visit those states, we can show them. But problem is somehow most of them are not following the recommendations. That's why their income is less. Simply if they are weeding, if they are fertilizing, if they are maintain their immature period plants well, you can go easily more than 1,000 yield per hectare per year. In that case, you can have a good income. Therefore, my message is that without trying for the price of the kilogram, right? Because you can't fight with the world market, right?
Yeah.
Only what we can do, we have provision to improve our productivity. And also, we have a plants and department now headed by Dr. Callum, and they have developed various, intercropping programs. They can use them, and then they can have extra income also. Therefore, I think rubber is not a bad crop. The thing is that we are not recommending the good agro practices.
So of course, it's always communicating with the farmers is the key, and educating them, right? And do you in Sri Lanka, do they have like farmers association, kind of cooperatives or something like that? Yeah. And
Yes,
how do
yes.
you guys, RRI is involving with the dialogue with them to educating them, empowering them with the new things happening, plant new clones or good agricultural practices, so that you rightly mentioned about you can't control the global market prices. What you can control is the things in your hand, better productivity. Okay, and so what kind of things happening with the farmers association and education programs for the plantation side?
Yes, actually, for which we have 3 institutes. All 3 institutes working toward the same objective in different ways. Now, rubber development department, they have more than 125 rubber development officers scattered in the rubber growing areas. They are looking after the farmers, right? And then also we have some extension officers in Tursavia also. They have formed different societies, as you told, group processing centers in actually basically all the districts of the country. And we also have a advanced service department, and these 3 groups, they are working together. Mainly what we do is we have a mandate. When our scientists, they develop some technologies, and we transfer them to those rubber development officers as well as extension officers. In some time, we also directly involved with the extension programs on the request. And then but basically these people, they are transfer technology to the field, one way. And another way is that in the large plantations in Rubber Institute, our scientists and we have a very good technical team with us, technical officers and expert officers. They are providing those services to rubber plantations. That way, we are, providing our services, and also any farmer can even call to even director if they have a problem, we are, responding positively. That way we are moving, how we can do this. And also in addition to that, we have another unit called Adaptive Research Unit, headed by Dr. Inoka, and where normally in some cases what we have developed in the lab or the trial pilot scale cannot be applied exactly in the field. In that case, the adaptive research department or unit, they will do experiments, they will do research more and make it adaptable. That facility also there. Therefore, I think we have a sound system of extension, but problem is still the people are not following the 100% of recommendation. I think that is, nature of the all of the world for the extension services.
I think that's their comfort zone, breaking out a comfort zone and coming up out is challenge always. Yeah.
Yes.
And do you guys have the issues about the middlemen? A lot of times farmers complain about the middlemen is the one who makes the money. They're not the real farmers. Do you have the similar situation in Sri Lanka?
Yes. Yes. We also have the similar story, but still what I'm present is you have to increase your productivity. Otherwise, there's no need. We have to, I think, tell them to the smallholders or whoever the farmers, convince them that first you do what you have to do, and then you talk about other things. Now, if you have higher productivity and then you have a higher production, then even you can be a third, you can sell it direct to the auction because you have a higher crop. If you have less productivity, less crop, and scattered, and then you can't do anything. I think that's what we have to. Actually, we have to teach the people, make the change attitudes, their attitudes. Otherwise, it will probably they continue like that, blaming, and proper prices.
Yeah. Okay, let's talk a little bit about your research work. You received an award for your research on the drying technology. Can you tell us your experience in developing that drying technology for the natural rubber industry?
Yes, of course. Now, if you look at the conversion process of latex into dry rubber, you harvest the rubber, it takes few hours, and then process into sheet rubber, crepe rubber, whatever in the physical solid form, it will take under 3 hours, but you keep drying for 3 to 4 days. That's what when we are doing actually the field trials, that's what really happen in the vehicle on the way. Myself and another two technical officers like Mr. Varnajit and Mr. Siriwardena, we were discussing why this, because people are loading the rubber, and then next day also load in rubber, open up all the dryers, they wait until the temperature comes to again the ambient temperature. Then next day again they open up for unloading, again then loading. This is a very inefficient system. Therefore, what we thought is, why don't we go for continuous uninterrupted drying? That is the very simple change that we make in their operation practices. And in addition to that, now there is a smoke house and the furnace is somewhere else, and then there's a heat transfer loss.
Yes.
Because we do that way to arrest the fire risk, then we introduce a baffle plate with another gravel layer, and then you can avoid that. With that, you avoid the minimize the waste losses. And thirdly, now having the gravel layers top, you can get the uniform heat distribution, and also this gravel layer act as a the ash arrestor. Then you can see a very good quality of sheet rubber. There's no ash contamination. Actually, those are things we did, and also we into the trolley also, because then you can take it out for unloading, and also loading also you can do it outside. Very comfortable. There's no smoking problem, right? It is very, health friendly, right? And those things make this technology. It is very simple technology, but it is adapted by, I would say, almost 100%. I'm very happy about that.
Very good.
Also now it is because we are providing consultancy as well to other countries to develop this technology. And
So if I add more
now for this system, you can save firewood consumption by 30%. That means you save carbon emission by also like 1/3. And also earlier, now if you have a particular crop, you have to have a smoke house with 5 times capacity, because it takes 4 to 5 days. You have to accommodate 5 days crop. But this one, you can have only just 1 day crop. That means your investment cost will be less. But there is a risk also. I must tell that also. If you go in for this one design system, you have to follow the recommended processing conditions. We have given DRC or dietable content at which you should coagulate rubber. We have diluted the later with rubber water. If you don't do that, then you get hard rubber. In that case, it will take more time. And then you have 1 day name will not dry the rubber one within 1 day. You have to follow the instructions. And then the thickness of the sheet, that should be 3.2 millimeters. If you can't get it, and then you can't do it. Therefore, if anyone going into the system, you have to follow the exact recommended procedures.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you don't implement that. You have to go for the old conventional system. Thank you.
So it's, you said it's 100% is people are using this practice in Sri Lanka. Yeah.
Yes, of course.
And
because after introducing this, normally Rubber Institute, we are the people providing the plans to the RDOs or the other institute. Nobody except one occasion for this about now 15 years, only one person requested for convention system. As far as I know, other all requested this system. Even government is providing the subsidies also only for this system. That shows that this 100% adapted. The other beauty is that if you have a large smoke house, we can easily convert it to this 1 day system also.
And based on your experience, can you compare with other countries what they do in the drying technology?
Actually, most of countries
are conventional, or they use also other practices?
No, mostly they are using conventional. I would say mostly.
So they should learn from Sri Lanka utilizing this technology. Of course, you have a certain guidelines to follow.
Yes.
So make you, otherwise you have to go for old practice anyway. Okay.
Yes.
So
yes.
So yeah. And this RRI is open to other countries to come forward and have collaboration to understand about it, or training or field training, something like that. Yeah.
Yes, of course. Yeah. Of course, they are welcome. No problem, because that is for the rubber industry, entire world, right?
Right. And also that is a technology that you innovated, and should have helped the farmers. And so yeah. Can you talk about what else research is happening at the RRI in terms of the natural rubber? We talk stage by stage. Let's look into the natural rubber, in the sense we're talking the block or sheet or latex, construct latex. So what kind of research is happening, and maybe your colleagues are doing it now?
Yeah. Okay. Now, actually, another one is that now water scarcity is the problem now, even rubber plantations, and we are producing crepe rubber, which is the specific, very specialized grade for us in Sri Lanka. And there we have studied and we have introduced some new protocol for water use, and then we can at least save 30% of the water consumption without affecting rubber quality of the final product. And same time, you can reduce the effluent water generation by 30%. And that protocol was developed and given to the industry, and that is again about NR processing. And also there are problems with the effluent treatment, particularly in the latex sandwich industry. And there's a sludge created, then it will be a big problem. And one our expert officer, under supervision of the Dr. Pulratnayak and myself, she has converted it into a filler, and it can be used as a filler, right? Those steps have done. And also now we are now sustainability is a common word now used. In future, maybe we have to use all the chemicals, sustainable chemicals. Therefore, we have now started work in that direction. We have already identified 2 coagulants you can prepare using natural sources. This and also maybe they are at present they are not practicing to do large scale, but small scale farmers they can do that, because during that economic crisis and the our formic acid was banned to import to the country, and then people has no way to coagulate rubber. That opened our eyes, and then we work on this. Now even though without formic acid we can use our own resources. Maybe sometimes it will be a little difficult at the early stage, but we have researched and we have found that now we have to we are now studying how we can market it, make it feasible, like somebody do it and give it to them, like as using preservative. What is one thing? And other thing is also we use some chemicals to improve the color of the scrape rubber. Now, Dr. Anushatha Nayak from rubber analysis department with his team, they are trying to go for natural, some chemicals extract natural resources. What I want to say is that now we are moving towards that. Even technology department, headed by Dr. Dilhara Singh, very prominent scientist. He has equal experience with me. Maybe you already know him. And she has developed in various natural oils to replace the processed oils. And she has idea to go for develop green compounds. That is for the future actually, right? And also she has developed reclaiming agent for natural rubber as well as synthetic rubber used in the chemical derived from the natural source, completely environment friendly chemical. It is given to the industry also. It is already adopted, right? And likewise now we have to think now in the world now water become a problem, energy will become a problem, and the sustainability or the resources. Therefore now we are moving that way to find the answers for the coming problems in our sector.
And so, I want to touch one topic. You said that there is alternate to the formic acid. You have some chemical you have developed, and
yes.
Is it acid or what is it?
It is acid developed based on natural resources.
Okay, I see. Okay, so that technology is you're looking to commercialize, are you?
Yes, of course. Yes. Now we are at the pilot scale. Now, normally what is happening is now in the lab we have done that. It is success. Now we are going into few smallholders and see whether they are like it, whether they can handle it, whether they can get the exact way. Now we are at this stage. If it is okay, then we are going to not make a recommendation.
So do you have like a process to commercialize the innovation? So as you guys are developing now, you're talking about energy, saving solutions, water saving solutions, of course, sustainability, green compounds. So you're developing so much. How do you transferring the technology developed to the industry so that they could utilize it? Did you have like a platform for them to access it between industry and research?
Yes, one platform is that with the planting sector, we have the scientific committee meetings where representatives of all the plantations, they come and meet and discuss their problems, so we will give our findings. That is one way that how we can transfer this to the planting sector. For the smallholder sector, what we do is we normally do the pilot trial with smallholders, and then if it is success, it is transferred through the rubber development officers or the extension officers of Turusavia or our at the service department. That is the way. And recently, actually, we have already our rubber board. We have prepared the IP policy as well, and now it is there. Now anybody can, if to develop the innovations. Now there's a process how they're going to get the patent and all. It's clear now. It is there now.
I saw that recently you have some announcement about submitting applications for the innovations commercialization. I think
yes.
I have seen that Dr. Dilhara has made announcement. So is it your project? Yeah.
No, it's a project by Minister of Industries.
Yeah.
And but as a RRI cell, Dr. Dilhara is representing that committee, and we have submit, I think, more than 5 animations this time for the competition.
Very nice. Yeah, it's
I
just
must,
good.
yes, I must thank my scientists also for within short time because they have developed all the ready-made ones are there. Just on submit.
Yeah. It's also important to publicize do the proper PR so that the industry is aware of it. So
Yes.
that's where Technobiz also could be part of it, to publicize the disseminate information. Yeah. So
Yes.
let's look into the research facilities you have. I think you have excellent laboratory facilities at RRI. Can you talk briefly about it? And I think there is a video we can also show, screen that one later.
Yes,
Again.
I think before I come into that, I must say that there are some other innovators also with the plantation sector, right?
Okay.
Now, for the soils department, headed by Dr. Asika, and there are 2 young people, Ruvini and Sangit, they have developed 3 different techniques to use the fertilizer in effective manner. Maybe fertilizer efficiency is high and labor requirement is also high. I think now I heard, we came to know that EU regulations are there now, not only carbon dioxide, now nitrogen oxide also they want to minimize the emission. Therefore, maybe in future, we have to minimize the fertilizer usage also.
Sure.
Therefore,
Yeah.
this type of techniques where you can efficiently use the fertilizer, very, very important. And they have developed that. And also addressing the labor shortage that our plant, the scientist one, Dr. Sagari Kudligam and his team, now they have developed some stimulants, modify their, compositions, and also they are doing a great job. That introducing that low friction tapping system to the smaller sector and the plant sector. Here also I want to advise one thing. If you use the low frequency harvest system using stimulant, you have to stick to the correct recommendation because we are getting more latex if you add the stimulant, and if you go for normal tapping, and then you will be end up with the no latex within short period. Therefore, when you implement the stimulants or low frequency system, we have to advise them to follow the recommendations given by the RRI cell. And plant pathology department in this year, they have introduced 5 clones for the state sector and 2 clones for the smaller sector. And that's way each and every department, they have contributed something to the industry when you took at in the past 2-3 years, even though there were financial problems, diesel problems, and so many problems, right? Epidemics, everything. And then other thing is that plant pathology department, now, there is a disease called Pestalozziopsis, or we call it circular leaf fall disease. It's a big challenge to our country, even the other countries.
Yes.
So far, there is no correct, proper, drugs or treatment is found. But now in our department, this plant pathology department, headed by Dr. Sarojini and his team, they have devoted to, find the system, and they have already provide some treatment, disease management protocols to the entire plantations as the smaller sector. And I think now they are researching on another biopesticide also. I hope that it will also work, but it's not yet I can't disclose because I don't know the real result yet. But what I want to say is that they are also working very hard to find a solution to that. And then again, the people who having this disease, they have to follow those recommended management system without blaming that we lose crop. Crop is losing for various reasons. That is not only this disease. This is for maybe your fertilizer application, maybe your weeding system, maybe your tapping system. You have to see that. Therefore, I must thank them also. They go early morning to the field, come late night, and to tackle this problem. Okay, and then when I come to the our equipment, if I start with the raw rubber testing.
Okay, hang on. We can talk a little back. I want to little backward a little bit before we go to the testing. This rubber leaf falling is a problem, and this is a serious problem. So RRI, do you have a plan, like a kind of plantation management workshops for locals as well as the international farmers associations or something. Because the way when you listen to all this, so you guys working so hard on all addressing real issues, finding real solutions, and so this need to be disseminated to the, particularly the farmers. Yeah. So what is how what are the plans on that? Yeah.
Yes, of course. This disease was first, exposed from the Malaysian to 2017, and 2019 only it came to Sri Lanka, because before it came to Sri Lanka, our pathology department, they have announced this and they have given the recommendations, and then we are doing experiments. While doing experiments, we do some findings, and with those findings, they revise recommendations. Likewise, they are always issuing recommendations time to time, and right, and for the both sectors, smaller sector as well as planting sector. And then even the scientific committee meetings, we are with the plant companies, we are discussing this problem, updating the information. And also now we are going to, already we have established a task force also. Now we are about to announce a national program for this, right? And also we have invited all the universities also to join with us. Any plant pathology can join with us to tackle this national problem. They are all invited. That's our national program. And also Dr. Sarojini has been, has gone to the, has been invited or selected as a UN consultant to the Philippines to advise on this management disease. She made this mission, and now again in Sri Lanka. And again, having recognized our work at RSL on this disease, IRRDB, they have given the task to Rubber Institute to organize a workshop, to share the experience and decide what to do, to have a workshop, international workshop. Maybe we are planning to have it in 4th September. Anybody is invited to participate that one.
Oh, excellent. I think that's the way forward, man. So that you providing solution to the global problem. Yeah.
Yes, of course.
Yeah. Okay, let's get into the testing facilities. Okay, and both in natural rubber side and also the rubber product side. What kind of facilities? How the infrastructure? A lot of times people say Rubber is Institute. Yeah, they have the facility, but not been used properly. That is the common comments, that you usually hear. Yeah.
Yes.
I think so. What is your plans on that? In terms of utilizing the facilities effectively, efficiently, and addressing the real issues, and what kind of infrastructure you guys have at RRI here?
Yes, actually we have. If I start with the rubber testing, we have a latex and rubber testing laboratory headed by Dr. Anusha Naik, and this department has almost all the basic rubber testing facilities. And last year we have participated with the competition with Malaysia on round robin test, and we got that our results are exactly same with their results. That shows that we are at international level, right? I must thank that staff actually who did the tests. And when it's come to the polymer chemistry department, where it is headed by a very young scientist, two scientists, Dr. Hashar and Dr. Alice, and we have much advanced equipments, and we have FTR couple TGA, where I think it is the only one machine we have in Sri Lanka, as far as I know, where you can identify the material, and we charge very low amount, only very few rupees. And then if you want to get the composition analysis, then you can straight away you can do the composition analysis. That is the beauty of that machine. Even the gas you can identify. Therefore, now that is one machine. And also we have that DMA machine, where you can get the dynamic analysis, and also the SC machine. But unfortunately, at present, we need some repair work for those two machines. We will see that how we can going to repair this. And then when we come to the rubber process analysis development department, we have wastewater treatment facilities and processing water facilities we have. And when it comes to rubber technology department, we have almost all the basic physical and volcanic properties testing equipment, like tensile, abrasion, all these things, and rheometers. And we also have rubber process analyzer, where you can test your samples for their raw rubber properties, and then the curing properties, curing characteristics, and also dynamic mechanical properties. You can run under three modes. Change the temperature, we call temperature sweep, or you can get the frequency sweep, or you can get the strength sweep. That machines are there. Therefore, now basically we have equipped those things, and also other facilities like two roll mills and hot press also there. And actually, as a request made by the industries, now we have we are going to establish a tire research center.
Okay.
where you have all the basic facilities, and we have purchased already the Bembury with 1.2 liters, and also carbon black two roll mill, and also the hot press. And also we have another two equipments, GCMS and ICPOES. That ICPOES, you can test your metline concentrations for more than 30 metlines. And GCMS, we can measure all the polyaromatic hydrocarbons, that 17 that what we have needed in the tire industry. And also we are trying to introduce the nitrosamine test as well. But those were little hampered the work because due to the lack of funds for the last few years. But I must thank to our ministry that they have visited our institute, and what told was, you go ahead, give us the whatever all the requirements completely to run this one this year. And I have made the proposal and I have given the budget. I am very sure that they will release it. I must thank the ministry actually with this difficult situation. I want to do somehow operate, but they said no, not somehow. You have to do it perfectly. Therefore, I've been at the end of this year, all the facility will be on the board, right? And I invite Sri Lankan people or even foreign people, you use those old machines like yours because those are public things. I want to open them. There's no restrictions, day or night. You can work with us because I think now in the Sri Lanka is a small country, particularly for the smaller sector, even the larger scale sector also. You don't have to have your own advanced machine. Just have one machine, utilize it as yours. That's it. Therefore, it is open. Thank you.
So I think it looks like it's a major milestone to having a full-fledged laboratory in your tenure. That with all the facilities, thanks to the government support, also willingness to you to provide a sufficient funds. So you are open to the industry to utilize it. All the
yes, now as I told, now you told us that we are not giving it. Now we are giving it. It is up to the industry, up to the smallholders. You come and get the service, work with these machines. There will be some guidelines, but it's still it is yours now, not ours.
So the door is open to utilize the best facility, right, to everybody.
Of course, yes.
So whether you want to develop product or testing, quality wise, so yeah.
In addition, now for the even large people or the small people, now particularly small sector, now actually they want to have a development product, right? Maybe you have to change your materials to compete with the industrial market, or maybe they want to improve their quality consistency, but they don't have a research and development arm or the people. What we can do is, now we Rubber Research Institute, we have our technologists, we have our technical people, officers. We can be your research and development team. We will support you, right? In that way, we can work together to the development of the industry. We are prepared for that.
And so it's good for them as saving the time, and you don't need to have expensive laboratory equipment in your own facility, and utilize the facility.
Yeah, that's it. You need not the land, you need no capital investment. Everything is there. Government has provided. Only thing you have to use it for 24 hours per day. That's all. We are prepared to give the service. That's all.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Let's look at the video. I think we have a nice video about facilities, some of the instruments shown at the RRI. Yeah.
I am Ravinder. I am going to give brief description about the high-end instrument available in RISL. This is GCMS. GCMS is very important to analyze polyaromatic hydrocarbon, which is called patch. and nitrosamine compound. These two analyses are very important to our rubber exporter because these certificates today rely on the international suppliers. They cost lot. So at the moment we are running out the metal required standard. So we wait for the standard. ICPO is inductive coupled plasma optical emission spectrometry. We can use this instrument to analyze metal ironing, rubber, plastic, wastewater, petroleum. So there are a lot of application in a lot of variety of field. But again, we don't have the required chemical standard and other accessories come into the digestion unit. This is our FTIR. So we can analyze sample as a liquid or plate or ATR as it is. And using this instrument we can identify chemical using their vibration pattern.
Thanks to your team to make this video and nicely shown about the facilities, yeah, the RRI. Yeah. And you also, we can see, I think there is another one, RPA, one of the important instrument nowadays so for the rubber industry. Let's look at the RPA as well.
This is the RPA that I told you that we can measure the raw rubber properties as well as the curing properties as well as the dynamic mechanical analysis also. That means you can say this is a 3-in-1 machine. It take in a very short time to study these properties. You can see how they work with that machine. Even if anybody want to get a training on this, we can provide that training as well. First they cut the sample and you will load it to the rheometer. He is Mr. Nadun, one of our technical officers. That fully automated, you can get all the data, interpret the way that you want.
So you have all the equipment, advanced instruments, tools are there. It's just up to the industry, people to utilize this facility, yeah. And also
Yes.
the cost effective is not going to be because it's a government center, so they could get a best arrangement, right? Yeah.
Of course, but it's now we are also going to have a small profit now because otherwise there's no sustainability, right?
Of
And
course.
also not only the instruments, we have something else to hire. We have a very senior young economist, 2 economists. They will promptly go to any data, any analysis, Mr. Sankalp and Ms. Ishani. And also we have a statistician also. And there are something like those people. And if you want to prepare any research proposal or the evaluation results or whatever, we can provide that service as well. And also we have about 50 very experienced technical and experiment staff, experiment officers. They have real world ground level experience, because they are the people who do the experiments, maybe in the field, maybe in the lab, and going for advisory services. Therefore, you can get their service as well. If you want that, we are prepared to provide that service as well, not only the testing services. That's what I want to say.
Yeah. So not just the testing, product development, consulting, and also the economic analysis. Yeah. So all the resources, all the tools are there. You just need to utilize them appropriately. So yeah. Okay. Let's look into the education aspect of the rubber industry. Yeah. I think I understand that you yourself are an education committee member for many years at the PRISL. PRISL is one of the is it 70 or 80 years old? Is it
70 years old. 70 years old.
Is also the first institute, is it right?
Yes, first and only institute who provides the training to the workforce of the rubber and plastic industry.
Okay. You guys have everything is a first, man. Yeah. Okay. So you're the
No,
leaders.
that is first in the Sri Lanka, not in the world anyway.
Yeah. In Sri Lanka. Okay. Yeah.
Yes.
So how is the educational system in Sri Lanka right now for the rubber industry?
Actually, rubber industry now, if you say that plastic and rubber institute, they are focusing mainly on the working people in the industry.
Yeah.
But if anybody wants to get extra knowledge, they can come and join and follow these. We have provided 4 courses like certificate course, and then diploma course, and then higher diploma course, and also degree level. And this higher diploma course is equivalent to NVQ 5 as well. And in addition to that, if anybody wants to, any group or any company wants to have their own specific training programs, PRI can provide them. Because PRI has no single lecturer, but PRI
Yes.
has pool of lecturers in specialist field from the industry, universities, as well as the research institute. This is a really blend, that is the advantage of their staff. In that is regarding this many training working people, and for the to produce graduates, there are many universities now, like Sri Javadhan University, and then there is another faculty newly formed, one technology faculty there, and then the another university where University of Uvella is also doing some courses, and Sabarmani was also. Now actually, since this is an attractive field, now almost all the universities, they have some undergraduate and postgraduate or both studies, but mainly I think Javadanapura, there's 2 faculties, and also Wellers University, they are contributing their polymer education in Sri Lanka. In addition to that, for these all the universities to provide this our service, we are doing the within lectures and contributing their courses, and also almost all the students, postgraduate undergraduate students, they come to rubber research and they do their projects under our supervision. And also I just want to mention you now, at present Uvellas University, there are 2 past rubber research officers, scientists working as lecturers. And then Javadhan University, technology faculty, founding dean also from our product. Okay. And then University of Wayamba, we have 2 professors who are our products, right? Likewise, Sabaragamu, we have 1 product. Likewise, there are many scientists who train from the RRI cell and now join to the universities, and they are helping to the national education. Therefore, actually, Rubber Institute is, I think, is a training institute. We train the people and give the outside, and not only for the national education system, even for the, if you look at the industry. Now we are the world leader of solid tires, but first solid tire factory was started with technical expertise of Dr. Nantha, who is our product. And then when you look at the glove industry, Dr. Sunil Fernando from he's got Haley's, I think. He's our product. Even now, Haley's heading research and development heading by our product. Even the Lalan, even not only those people, even technical people. If technical officers perform well, mostly they are attracted to the industry. Therefore, I'm happy that we are serving in that way also the industry, but we have trained people to make that demand.
Yeah. So it's a
even
home.
though it's
RRI is a home for many. Yeah.
Of course, yes.
That nowadays due to the technology evolution everywhere and the smart technologies, are the young people are wanted to get into the rubber industry in Sri Lanka, or they wanted to get into the computers, AI, apps, or So what is the situation there? I mean, how do you see? I think the skills, getting a skilled people and manpower is getting a challenge everywhere. So what is the situation? How
In,
do you guys are supporting that? Yeah.
but I think Sri Lanka is also same because they also like to work in the computers. But still, there is a positive sign because when you look at the request or the demand for the polymer education in the universities or the PRI, it's keep increasing. That shows that people are interested to the polymer world also. But the only problem is, I mean, the very big problem is with the harvesting assistance, for the rubber
Okay.
latex. That for that, I think now we are going to have a plan to give them like technical qualification like NVQ and recognize them and indirectly provide them some benefits and also insurance scheme. That's a proposal. We are going to work on this. Dr. Sashika is he's heading that project of plant science department.
And with reference to the this education, I think that your president of Sri Lanka has made some remarks. Let me show you the video, and maybe you can talk about your viewpoint on this. There's a recent development on this educational, university education, professional education, actually. Yeah. And something in local language, something in English. So I hope people understands it.
ආදායම වැඩි කර ගැනීම තමයි මේ තියෙන සියලුම ප්‍රශ්න වලට තියෙන උත්තරේ. ගොවියගේ ආර්ථිකය ගොඩනගන්නත්, රටේ හාල් ප්‍රශ්න විසඳෙන්නත්, හාල් මිල අඩුවෙන් දෙන්නත්. ගොවිය අතරේ ලොකු ප්‍රබෝධයක් ඇති වෙලා තියෙනවා දැන් මේ යන වැඩපිළිවෙල. කියන්නේ අවුරුදු ගාණක් තිස්සේ කිසිම තමුන්ගේ ආදායම ආර්ථිකය පිළිබඳ විශ්වාසයක් නැතුව හිටපු කොටසක් තමයි මේ රටේ ගොවියෝ. ගොවියන්ගේ මේ කාලේ තියෙන ප්‍රබෝධේ මටත් හිතා ගන්න මම හිතුවා මේක එපා වෙලා ඇති කියලා. නමුත් දැන් මේ තෙල් පෝර ටික ලැබුණු ටිකට මාර උනන්දුවකින් වැඩ කරනවා. මිල සම්බන්ධව තීන්දුවක් ගන්නම ඕනේ. අපි සම්බන්ධ වෙලා මේ කරන වැඩ කටයුත්ත කරගෙන යන්නම්. කුසකර්මාන්තේ වී සම්බන්ධව කරන වැඩ කටයුතු ටිකට මගේ පූර්ණ සහයෝගය දෙනවා ජනාධිපතිතුමනි.
ඉස්සෙල්ලම තියෙන්නේ ලේකම් කාර්යාලය ඇති කරන්න. ඇග්‍රිකල්චර් මොඩර්නයිසේෂන්. මේ හැම එක්කෙනාටම ප්‍රශ්න තියෙනවා. එතනදී ගත්තාම එතනදී විගහට පිළිතුරක් ලබලා දෙන්න ඕනේ. ඉතින් මම බැලුවා ඉස්සෙල්ලාම තියෙන්නේ මේ සෙක්‍රටේරියට් අපි ආරම්භ කරමු. තව එකක් තියෙනවා. ග්‍රවුන්ඩ් ලෙවල් කොහොමද වැඩ කරන්නේ? ප්‍රාදේශීය ලේකම් මට්ටමේ බලමුකෝ. නැත්නම් ග්‍රාම නිලධාරි මට්ටමේ කොහොමද මේ වැඩ කටයුතු සිදු වෙන්නේ? මේ ඔක්කොම හොඳයි හැදුවට ග්‍රවුන්ඩ් ලෙවල් එකේ ඉන්න ඔක්කොමලා අපි ඔක්කොම එකතු කරන්න ඕනේ. එකතු කළා මේ පුද්ගලික අංශයට ඕන ඒලත් එකතු කළා එක combine delivery unit එකක් තියෙන්න ඕනේ service. Then last one I want a committee to give me a report on how to establish a agro-technology university. This is for research and for any postgraduate and training, not basic degree, so we are not competing. So what I want is all the research institutes in the government to come under that. Things like TRI, which is already has legislation, can be a center of the university. Others in the agriculture and other areas, all to be brought into this. Then you bring the NIPM and ARTI, everything together into one university for technology, agriculture technology, and they will drive the whole thing on that side.
Also, that Center for Agriculture that is manned by the Army.
Yeah, so we can put the Defense Ministry in. Yeah. No, if you do that, then let's within a month can you all get the modernization secretariat. Then we must put a date to start. Give us a plan like this, as was suggested now. While you are giving us, there will be steps we can take immediately. Then move out all regulations and all. So then have that secretariat ready, or can get that ready. So if no one need to go to any ministry, they come to the secretariat, the private sector and all, you work with the secretariat. You may need Ministry of Trade for the supply chain,
Yes.
and those additional secretaries are there, they meet somewhere, and then they will tell the ministries. Above that, I'll have the committee of the relevant ministers.
Okay, so it looks like
Okay.
the voice has gone. Yeah, so, yeah.
Yes.
So, what is your opinion about the president's remarks?
Yes. Of course, if you look at the rubber, now we have spent 140 years at the same model, right? And now the requirements are different because there are so many challenges like climatic change is a challenge, and the social, I mean, requirements, their attitudes are keep changing very fast, and so many environmental regulations and more concern on the health and everything. Therefore, this plantation sector, the research and development should be much dynamic because to face the challenges, meet the challenges. And also now we have to run by sustainable way, having 4 crop institutes, different institutes everywhere splitted. This will be a resource, there is no resource sharing. And then the capital investment will be very high. And also to develop any sector, R&D is most critical, most important. I think president has understood that. He's a very brilliant president, he has understood that. And also now there is actually problem with the industry also. Now if you look at the productivities, we have to accept that it has gone down. Then if you want to increase that, we have to have the and I think people in the ground who has understood, who has not taught but learned the ground level practices. Therefore, if we can have some people produced from these institutes as graduates or postgraduates with the experience and under supervision of the, the supervisors or scientists who has very good thorough experience in the field, then only you can address the real requirement of the industry. It will be a very big help to the plantation sector. Also, I'm very sure that it will be another bloom to the plantation sector. In addition, you talk about the education system. If you look at the tracer report published by the University Grant Commission, that is a consultancy provided by the United Nations or UNDP, it says that the graduates produced by universities, they don't have the competency. Of course, university, you can't have the 100% competency because they are focusing on their lectures and all. But if this type of university is formed, what we can do is, like we are producing medical doctors or lawyers, we can produce professional oriented team of graduates or postgraduates. And then next day after graduation, they can work in the industry, they have a job. They don't want to come to the road and display posters. And also government has no commitment to give the developers a post and keep there for doing nothing, and for 30 years pay the salary. These will also sometimes not satisfactory. Therefore, I think as personally, as well as director of RRI, I fully endorse the president's innovative and brave decision. I think it's the way forward. I hope that these particular relevant officers, they quickly act on this, because one day is delayed means it's I think some sort of drawback to the country. Thank you.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. Yeah. Is the government support some financially if the industry wanted to send their team to go for the training programs? Do they have some kind of support? Government support is there?
Yes, actually government support was there, but at the present situation is not that, because due to this our financial problem, now they won't provide the facilities. Actually, with the UNICEF proposal, I want to thank to the our minister Ramesh Patrina also, and also former secretaries as well. They are also in line with the same direction, that they are also thinking that and even our minister also forwarded some cabinet papers to produce convert these crop institutes to the university. It will be a multi-benefited one actually.
And you actually were talking about research and development, innovation side. RRI is actually involved in the FEA Center, finite element. Yeah, I think that's also play an important role for the companies to develop products, and simulation things. So can you talk about how the journey of the FEA Center?
Yes, that is also proposal was submitted to the Treasury by industry, Dr. Siriwardena and team, and he also a member of the PRI we have to talk about. And then this proposal was accepted, and then Rubber Institute has been given the task to implement this under the Ministry of Plant Industries, and it has been established. Government has funded 50 million rupees in 2018 to purchase that very valuable abacus and mold two softwares and some 6 machineries. And then actually this is the one of the project come under master plan, and this is the first project already implemented first. Okay, and also other beauty is that the center owned by the government. That means that RRB, Rubber Board, will take in charge of this, and the private sector representing the Sri Lanka Rubber Society, the Plastic Rubber Institute, will manage the operations. That's how it, at the moment functioning. And we have a design engineer as well. And also now we have planned to convert it to a limited liability company if the Treasury approved. Anyway, what I want to say is it is run as the private-public partnership now without any headache to the government. Government has given only the seed funds only. Now this center, you can actually have virtual designs, because now if you get a tire, now if you want to see the performance in maybe in England or other country, you have to produce and send it, then see the performance. But here now what you can do is you can virtually design it, you can incorporate, or you can charge all the properties, material properties and all to the software, and then you can get the performance at different climate conditions, or you can change the properties and see at the same climatic condition how they work. And then that means you can save time, you can save cost, everything. Then you can see the performance. It is almost 99-95% you can get the accuracy there. That is product design. And then the product failures you can identify early, right? Therefore there are a lot of advantages there. And also process simulation and thermal simulation, everything can be done. That software is there. We have an engineer. It is, as I told you, this PRI also, they are managing, they are operating it. They are also willing to open anybody to come and get the services. Even now we have provided our service to Australia also. Even from small simulation at any large simulation tire sector, not only tire sector, even in the structure, the construction sector, boat industry, we can provide services because we can design in a product. Therefore, I invite you to, come and get the service also.
Yeah, I think FEA Center is very, very important for all kinds of the industry, not just only the big guys, the small and medium scale as well. Yeah. And that is within your reach. PRI and RRI is taking care of it. So I have a video to show. Let's have a look at the FEA Center video.
Right.
Okay, well, you have fantastic facility, the FEA Center, yeah? And do you guys also facilitating the reverse engineering as well?
Of course, yes, we can do that.
Okay.
Now we have a design engineer, and also other option is if you have expertise, you can discuss the PRI, and then you can also because sometimes there are some secret information, therefore there is a chance for them also come and work, and you can make a small payment and to the center. That's all.
And I think the FEA Center also offers a training program to understand about
Yes,
the, yes, it's a,
of course, yes, we have already planned one in July also. I think July 21st. If anybody interested, they can join it.
yeah, it's useful. It's
And
useful.
also if you have your company team, sometimes people doesn't like to come for a common training programs also due to this their business these different things. Then what we can do is if you make a request for a small groups also, we can provide a service because that is government. Yes,
Customize the
customized.
service. Yeah, not
Yes,
just public, only customize in-house or, for a specific
yes.
group. Yeah,
Mm.
good. Let's look at a little bit on the SME. Yeah, I think of course, for me, the big companies always have resources, talent, manpower, money, okay, infrastructure, you name it, everything they have. I think Sri Lanka is leaders in solid tires and also the latex creep. There's there are many products that Sri Lanka is very popular, right? Yeah. And how is the situation about the SME in Sri Lanka? How they're performing now? Yeah.
Yeah, of course, there are about 15 big players who has the 90% of the turnover of the country, drug manufacturing turnover. And as you correctly said, there are 5% for the medium level and the 5% turnover from the smaller sector. Actually, our now new chairman, Mr. Lakshmana Besekar, he also very interested to promote the smaller sector. That right? Because now, therefore, now we are. I mean, we actually we are providing our services to smaller sector, but I think the message that we want to be their R&D partner, that message we have to, give them. Therefore, now we had the first discussion with the president of the small and medium sector rubber manufacturing association, and we want to make aware all those industries what facilities we have and what facilities that we can offer and what facilities they can ask. Actually, now what we can do is now they also now testing facilities, those things, maybe some other places like IDB, you can get them. There are other places as well. But if you want to do a research, means now actually main thing that what we have seen is that they have a product, but they come with the product, then we have to do analysis and see how we can model it to them, for them, that we have to do the compare analysis that we can do. And also we can let them, we can do research for them and then develop a formula to show it to their product and also to suit their budget. That's also important. Therefore, for SME sector, now that's one way. Other way is that marketing. We have to help them even marketing. And what we actually, Dr. Dilhara and Mr. Mahesh, they have led now to produce our own downfield product, small item, to, as I said, for example, small industries, and to market it. We will use our downfield factory rubber, we will use our people, we will use our technology, and we will produce that product maybe within next three to 4 months to our people. That's how we want to promote our local products to the local community as well. That is one thing. And the second thing is to make like a group of companies, right? And then move to the export market. In that case, whatever the research that we can handle, and also whatever the legal regulations, like whatever the limits that they have to achieve, then we can help them to achieve. In that way, we are trying to promote the smallholder sector because we want to increase that share 5% to at least 10% by another 5 years. Maybe a very difficult journey, but we have determined to do that.
And in Sri Lanka, do you have like a cluster, like a industrial estates or um, industry park to support the industry? Because, see, the utilities is a big challenge, right? Whether it's water, power, and do you have that kind of a plan in Sri Lanka?
No, actually, that we have that facility that is not come under our ministry purview. It is under Ministry of Industries, but they have established those industrial zones, and whoever they can prove that they have a marketable, adequately sufficient, project. They can get those premises, and also there are a lot of facilities offered by the government, loan facilities and technical facilities they can get from the government various sectors. And maybe if they want to get a bank loan, there are schemes, and if they want to know how to promote their products in the international level, then EDB is there. There are very institutes. In our case, we can provide the technology for the rubber product manufacturers. Therefore, I think there is a very good background or facilities offered by the government to promote the smaller sector.
And I understand that you have some new concept, eco education tourism, and utilizing the RRI facilities. Can you elaborate on that issue? Probably Technobiz could be part of that journey. Yeah.
Of course, that is not directly relevant to Rubbers Institute, but it is relevant to the Rubbers Institute resources, because Rubbers Institute situated in a very beautiful place. You can find different climates within one day. Morning,
Okay.
it is raining. 2 o'clock, it is sunshine, well, very dry, right? And also there is a very wide biodiversity as well, intercrops, rubber plantations, and also there are buildings, developed by these English people, very huge, large buildings. And on top of all that, this is you can see the first place where the rubber research in the world has started, commenced. Therefore, it is important for the scientists, education people, students, and they come, and then if you visit the place, you can see they can very calm and quiet. They can stay there. There are so many places to see. And why we don't use those resources to make income and also make education? Therefore, what we thought is, if anybody interested, we can have some MOUs or these things under the government approval to promote the different kind of tourism. That's why we call it eco education tourism, and the benefit will may then go to those workers in the plantation sector. That is one way that how we can improve the income, because when the tourists are coming, there may be other services that they can offer after their duty hours. Means after you tap the latex, maybe after 2 o'clock they are free. Then they can have a small shop or provide some service to them. Therefore, that culture we want to inculcate, introduce. That's why we have to, and also we have some rubber substations also scattered in the country, and then we can connect them as well. Then actually, anybody if you're interested, you can have a tourist company and work with us. We can offer the place. We can have a good guest house also.
Okay, yeah, it's always bring the international visitors to participate and really explore the country, explore the life, the reality. Yeah, and you said that in one day you can see all the seasons. Yeah, so
of course, yes, why not? Yeah, you are doing umbrella every day because there's anyway part they are training, right? And also now, not only that, now you can visit our laboratories. If you are interested, you can have mini projects. Our scientists, it is different, view. Not only that you come and see the place and go.
yeah. You basically you experience everything, culture, environment, and also education. Yeah, so blending all, and it's a nice experience for the foreigners as well. So, I wanted to ask you that you do have any model to certify the products produced in Sri Lanka? If they have somebody produce innovative products, is RRI involved in certifying the products? It's important to label them, right? To market a global market, there is a requirement about is it certified or who certified it, kind of things. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, actually, RRI cannot certify all each and every test that they are asking for. because we are not authorized, and also we don't have all the facilities. Sometimes we have to get the accreditation also. Therefore, certain basic ones we can issue certificates. Otherwise, other things maybe you have to go to the authorized agencies. If not, you have to go to the foreign country. That's why now industry requested that that GCMS, like polycarbonate hydrocarbon test, we want to introduce it because they have to spend a lot of money to go, send to the abroad. We are, gradually developing that, but at present, I think we can't give all the certificate that they need by Rubber Institute. One thing, and also there are particular agencies that they are authorized to issue those certificates. Like for example, Central Environment is there to give the environmental certificate like that.
Okay. I'd like to ask one final issue is that, Sri Lanka experienced really worst times. You have a COVID, economic crisis, political crisis. Okay, now everything is a past now. And so how the industry is coping up now? What kind of changes you've seen, particularly with reference to rubber and tire industry?
Actually, I don't think that COVID, it not adversely affect to us, it is positive effect to us. But only thing is that world economic situation affect the industries. Otherwise, in local conditions, it won't much affected, because thing is that our people, they work, they tapped their plantation during the COVID as well. And I'm happy to say that our staff, even the COVID time, if they want to, if some companies request for the certificates, they get the risk, they came to work, they did the test and give the certificates. Industrial for dividend, especially some two departments like technical department, the road analysis department, they provide the services. Therefore, I don't think that past those problems made any effect to the industry, but it is only uncontrollable international conditions that has affected the industry.
So now, how is the overall economy of Sri Lanka right now?
That's, I think I am not expert to answer, I think.
Okay, leave that one. Okay. Yeah. So, we talked a lot, all the issues, not missing a lot, but more of it. We really covered various issues about the rubber industry, the research happening, and also how the research is being promoted, how the industry can take assistance from this RRI to benefit growth of their industry. So, any final message to the global audience? I welcome them to the Sri Lanka. What are the products that really good? What really Sri Lanka is good at it in terms of the rubber products or rubber any solutions? Yeah.
Of course, now we have expanded our rubber plantation by 300,000 hectares in Monra Rampar district, Uva province in the country, and we have experts in producing very good, best quality crepe rubber in the country. Therefore, if anybody interested to start manufacturing industries using latex or crepe rubber, we are invited, right? We can provide the, all coordinate facilities. That is first message. And also secondly, for anybody who wants to collaborate with us, maybe with our researchers or maybe with our use of equipments, you are invited. And also, my message to our country smallholders is that you have to maintain, you have to follow our recommendations, and then you can improve your economic situation of your family actually. And finally, I want to say that in very short, these equipments, these human resources are yours. Therefore, don't hesitate, contact us. Our chairman, our ministry, our minister, all are there. They all support this program, and you please utilize our resources for the development of the country and the entire rubber industry in the world. And finally, I must thank you and the Technobiz, and also will request from you also join with us, and we'll work together for maybe we can market our technology or our knowledge, train people, or get in the testing services and organize workshops. There are so many things we can do get together. Therefore, I invite you also as a Technobiz to come with the MOU and work together. Just to I mean, improve the utility of our resources. Thank you.
Yes. So thank you very much, Dr. Susantha. It's a really wonderful conversation. We learn a lot, see what's happening and your views, and as a director, how you see the vision of the RRI. One simple final is that everything is there available. It's just people need to utilize it efficiently to develop their products or grow their company. So the door is open for every rubber industry, farmers, not just the industry people only, farmers, smallholders, you name it. So walk to the Rubberies Institute, and you said rightly that you can call director as well, right? Yeah.
Yes, even to the light industries, like whoever want to get the water treatment technology or wastewater tested, we are happy to do that. Not only the rubber industry, we are open to other plastic industry or whatever. We have resources, we will provide our services.
Utilize them well. Utilize them well. That's the best, so that they get benefited. So yeah. Super, sir. Thank you very much. I'm really wonderful. I'm happy to have you in as a part of the Sri Lanka Spotlight today. And I'm sure the audience also learn about what is going on at RRI and how they can benefit it from the RRI. So I look forward to working with you. Definitely Technobiz would like to be part of the journey in this, your journey and your vision. We'd like to play a little role of what we can, and definitely open to that one. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much for today.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you.
Guys, that's the session with Dr. Susantha Siriwardena, the director of the Rubberies Institute. Now you can see I think you all listened his vision and what's happening in Sri Lanka and what kind of facilities they have and how to utilize them. So please be in touch with the RRI team and make the best use of it. And for international audience, or local audience, or rubber industries, associated with the Rubber Research Institute, Sri Lanka. The first institute, the oldest institute, is it 114 years old? I want to make sure correctly, 114?
Yes, from 1999.
Yes. So 114 years old research specialty. They also have this eco education program also. That's also going to be very fun and educational. And so please join hands with Rubber Research Institute, Sri Lanka, for your benefit and also for the country. Thank you all for joining this session today.
Okay, thank you.